All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over some Washington State 25-cent quarters here that are worth big money. Some of these quarters are going to be worth more than the car that you see driving down the road right now. These quarters sold in auction for big money. Let's jump right into it. The first coin we have is a 1934 25-cent coin graded by PCGS, a mint state 68. Now remember, the highest grade you can achieve is 70, but because this coin is so old and the condition is so nice, this coin sold for over $15,000. Now, it's important to know that you can find these coins in your pocket change. Now, keep in mind they won't be in this grade of condition, but they're still going to be worth money. You're still going to be able to find these, and you'll be able to sell them for a good amount of money. Here's a very interesting one. This is a 1965 25-cent Washington quarter. Now, the thing is, it was struck on a silver planchet. What makes this coin so valuable is that it's an error. Everything from 1965 and forward was not struck on silver planchets. Every quarter, 1964 and earlier, they're all silver. This is what collectors call a transitional date error because it was struck on the silver planchet. There's many ways to find out if you have a silver struck quarter or not. If you check the side or the edge of a quarter, if it's silver, it's not going to have any copper brown look to it. But if it's a more modern coin, it's going to have that copper look. So that's what makes this one so popular and so expensive, is the fact that it is a transitional date struck on the silver planchet. So this one sold for $16,800. So that just goes to show how important it is to look out for these types of coins, because they're out there. You know, like this person came across this coin, probably searching their pocket change, and they found this coin, right? And it's these type of like rare errors where you can really make a lot of money if you just spend some time and go out there and look for them. To sum it up for just this coin, keep an eye out for 1965 and newer coins that are struck on silver planchets. Up next, we have a 2004 D 25-cent Wisconsin extra low leaf coin. What you need to look out for here is on the back, you can see on the left there's the extra low leaf, and on the right there is the extra high leaf. It doesn't matter which one you have as long as that extra leaf is there. On the majority of these coins, they're missing that leaf. So if you find this coin and you see that leaf is there, that's going to make the coin be worth a lot more money. So keep an eye out for that. This one, graded by PCGS, a mint state 67, sold for $6,000. So again, keep an eye out for that extra leaf, regardless of if it's high or low. If you're liking the video so far, make sure to give me a big thumbs up, as it really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. All right, back to the video. Here's a weird looking one. This is a 1966 25-cent Washington quarter struck on a 10-cent planchet. So any quarter you have that looks really strange like this, regardless of what it actually looks like, this could be very rare. So it's important to know that this is not damaged. This is from the mint. This was minted just like this. This came right out of the mint. Now, sure, it wasn't supposed to get out. The quality control should have caught this and destroyed it, but it got out into the public, it got out into the circulation. You can see this quarter just looks so small and so interesting looking because it was struck on that 10-cent planchet. Now, this one sold for $528. Up next, we have a beautiful coin. This is a PCGS Mint State 65 from 1932, and this is from the Denver Mint Mark because of the D that you see on the back bottom center there. What makes this coin so rare and so valuable is not only the fact that it's from 1932, which is a good date, it's from Denver, and it was graded at a high grade mint state of 65 plus. Now, when you first look at the coin, you may think, oh, it doesn't really look mint state. It doesn't really look that nice. There's some things on the back, on the front, but that just goes to show that if you have something that looks like this, it can be worth a lot of money. This one sold for $16,200. Imagine what you could do with that type of money. Here we have a no date 25-cent Washington quarter struck 6 times, which is just bonkers. I've never seen something this dramatic before. This one graded by PCGS and AU, which means almost uncirculated, 58. This is a mint error. There is no date. This is from the Denver Mint. This one sold for $3,720. If you know me, you know that some of my favorite errors from paper money and coins are the double denominations. That's what the collectors call them. With paper money, imagine that you have a $1 bill on the front and a $10 bill on the back, or a 5 on the front and a 10 on the back. That's a double denomination. Here, we have a 25-cent Washington quarter struck on a nickel. This one was graded by PCGS, a mint state 64, and it sold for $2,100. So if you're ever out there and you see a quarter that looks really, really small, there's a good chance that it was struck on the wrong planchet. Next up, we have a 1950 D over S. Now, what does that mean? That means the mint mark was double struck. So if you look on the back bottom where the mint mark is, you'll see where the D should be, there's also an S for the San Francisco Mint. One way to keep an eye out for these is look on the back of these quarters. Make sure that there's no double struck mint mark on these. This one was graded by PCGS, a mint state 66, and it sold for $5,400. So here's a pretty cool one. This is a 1976 $1 Type 1 Eisenhower dollar that was struck on a 1976 bicentennial quarter. Again, as you know, one of my favorite types of errors are these double denomination errors just because they're so fascinating to me, and they all happen during the minting process of these coins. So again, if you ever come across something that looks very strange, very out of the ordinary, there's a good chance that it could be an error like this one and be worth a lot of money. This one sold for a staggering $27,000. Absolutely mind-blowing. Here we have a 1937 25-cent double die obverse graded by PCGS, a mint state 66. Now, by double die obverse meaning the front of the coin, double die meaning that it was struck twice, the die was doubled. If you look at certain areas, like in Liberty, in the date, and in God We Trust, these areas will look doubled. They'll almost look like 3D. They'll have something printed on top of each other. This is why they're called double dies. So this is something that you should really take an eye out for. Really keep your eye peeled for these double dies on the obverse, which is the front, or the reverse, which is the back. Now, this is a great example. This one is a very high grade, sure, and it'll be harder to find this really high grade out in circulation, but it's possible, and these are going to bring a lot of money. This one sold for $19,550 for this 25-cent double die Washington quarter. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video.